Okay, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. So today, here in Keeney's Corner, we're talking with the Miss Lovely Tatia Toney. I want you, tell us your name and where you're from.
Hi, thank you for having me. First off, my name is Tatia Toney. I am a South Carolina Notary Public. My business name is Notary to Go. I'm originally from New York. Woohoo! But I live here in South Carolina, West Columbia, Columbia area of South Carolina.
How long
Thanks for having me.
you're welcome. How long have you been here?
So, I've actually been in the Columbia area about 12 years,
Okay.
but I spent about 25 years in Atlanta before I
Ah,
came here. So, yeah, yeah.
did
So
you
I was
do
born and raised in New York, but
did you do notary in Atlanta too?
I did not. I didn't discover the notary business until I got here, about 6 years ago.
Okay, so tell me, how's that been going?
I love it. I started off in 2021. And I was doing it kind of part-time, side gig money. You see little ads about how you can make this money. So I had a full-time job and wasn't really feeling letting go that steady check, not really sure about that life. But about a year ago, February 10th of 2025, I parted ways with my full-time, and I have been doing this full time since then. And I absolutely love it. It's growing in leaps and bounds. It's giving me some freedom I've never had. And I'm about to be 60 and I'm loving this life.
Good for
Love
you.
it.
So I know each state because I did notary in New York, I did it in North Carolina and South Carolina. So each state is different. Tell us
Mhm.
how to become a notary in the state of South Carolina.
So in South Carolina, it's really relatively easy as long as you have a clean background. You go on our Secretary of State's website, look for the notary link, and you apply. You fill out the application. You can even pay online, and then you mail it in to our each county has a different place that it gets mailed to.
Okay.
Once it goes in, they run your background check. You pay the $25 that you send in, and they check to make sure you and they let you be a notary. They send it back with your commission, and then you go get sworn in. You pay an additional $10 for about $35. As long as you're up and on the top here, as long as you haven't killed anybody. It's really kind of easy. But then the work really kind of begins. You've got to get your own education. You've got to learn what you're doing, and really, really learn our state's laws and rules. So,
Okay. Tell me some things that notaries do. I know you notarize documents, so tell me some other things that you do as a notary here.
Right. So generally, the whole thing is about notarizing documents. But because we're sworn officials now, a lot of people trust us to do things that involve integrity of any type. The other thing is that's real cool about South Carolina, and I think we're only one of maybe 5 to 8 states. But once you get your notary commission, you can also become a wedding officiant. You don't have to do anything extra. We're solemnizing weddings. And that's one of my favorite parts of this job. I get a lot of couples who just want to do small, intimate weddings,
Hmm.
and that's my niche. I go out and I meet them in a park, and we do something special just for them. Um, you can do things like fingerprinting. You can do field inspections on houses and cars. You can do loan signings. Now, South Carolina is what they call an attorney state. So there's only certain real estate transactions we can do. So while we can do them, we have to be kind of careful about them. I think most loan signing agents here in South Carolina work through some of the platforms so that they can kind of protect us.
Okay.
But we can do things like loan modifications, and when a couple or someone gets a package mailed to them from their mortgage company, and they're told to just sign it before a notary. Well, that's where we hop in.
Okay.
We do things like powers of attorneys, wills. Of course, we don't offer any type of legal advice, but those type of documents are necessary for everyday life. And one of the things that helps here in South Carolina is that to make money, we can charge travel fees.
Okay.
So a lot of us are mobile notaries because we'll go out to a hospital, to your home, to your workplace.
Totally.
Hey, I'll even notarize in the Walmart parking lot. So
So I know there's something else here that I've been learning from you um, in the classes you do monthly. We're going to talk about that. But it's something else that you do. Apostille?
yes,
Tell
okay.
me a little bit about that.
So apostilles are basically documents that are going to be used outside of the United States. So
Okay.
other countries want to know that whoever has stamped this document, whether it's a registrar on a birth certificate, um, attorneys from a divorce decree, or just a notary that stamped the power of attorney, they want to know that that person is legit and legal and was able to stamp that document at that particular time. So the person who's using that document outside of the country will come to me and say, hey, I need to get this apostilled. And
Mhm.
I will take it to the Secretary of State, hand the document in, and ensure that they can get that higher level of certification.
Mm,
And here in South Carolina, because I'm so close to Secretary of State, I'm able to offer same day service in most cases.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure that the fee that you're able to charge as an apostille is different than a regular notary, or is it the same?
Yes, so
Okay.
apostilles are not actually regulated um, by the state for what we can charge.
Okay.
So depending on what portion of the facilitation I'm doing, I have different levels. So
Mhm.
if you're a notary who just needs someone to be able to walk it into the Secretary of State and get it back to you quickly, normally I have one, a lower fee.
Okay.
Then if it's a customer who comes to me who needs it notarized and facilitated all the way through, of course, that's definitely more. And it's not like a normal $5 notarization stamp by no means, because there's more that's involved.
Definitely. And that's a different thing too, because I see people on social media going lives and talking about notaries and the different things you could do. But what a few of them fail to realize is that each state is different. Because
Oh
in
yeah.
New York, you can't charge more than $2 for a signature, but here it's five.
Yep.
Um, I think North Carolina is the same thing if I'm not mistaken. So
Mhm.
we have a little bit more freedom here because we could do the marriages, the apostilles, things like that. So I really appreciate that. If you were to give a new notary some advice, what advice would you give them?
First off, I would tell them that they need to learn our handbook inside and out, and that it really should become their Bible. It should be on them at all times. And then secondly, I would encourage them to do market research. I would call around to some other notaries and find out what they're charging for fees,
Mm,
because people don't know. They don't know. They think that you can only charge the $5, and they don't know about the fact that you can charge for travel fees or for your time and your expertise. I mean, people think that we're just stamping a paper, we're just putting our name on there, but we're
no.
not. We're accepting liability for a lot of stuff. So it's an important, serious business. Um, so they really need to know what they're doing before they step out. And then the other thing I would say is everything that you see on social media is not always true. So you need to really read, study, and take it, okay, maybe, but do your research. South Carolina is a whole different beast than
Oh,
other states, like you said. We
yeah.
can charge $5, and we're actually working on trying to get that to $10.
Oh,
But you
wow.
have other states like Nevada and California that charge way more than that, but they also have way more rules than we have,
Mm,
types of rules and things that they can do. So each state is unique. But as a new notary, learn the state laws. Ask questions of seasoned notaries that are here in South Carolina. While watching other notaries from other states is good, gives you a good basis, it's not South Carolina, and it
right.
makes it.
Do you recommend notaries having insurance?
Oh, most definitely. Always have errors and omissions insurance.
Or is it
Even if you think that it's called E&O insurance. There's a lot of different companies you can get it with. It's not something that you probably want to tie into your car insurance or house insurance or anything
right?
like that. But there are companies out there like Next and Byberg and Hiscox that they understand our business and they offer certain levels of insurance. Um, and what that insurance does is protects you if you stamp something and for some reason it's wrong or it causes issues for that person and they decide that they want to try to sue you, this
Mm,
is going to protect you. So you want to have it at all times.
that is a good idea. That is
Oh,
definitely a
yeah.
good idea. How do you find people? Like, how do people find you?
So people find me because one, word of mouth. I tell everybody whenever, yeah, I try to find a way to put it in a conversation for a new person in a heartbeat. So, hey, I'm a notary. If you ever, by the way. But the biggest thing is that I do have a Google business page
Okay.
under Notary to Go, West Columbia, South Carolina. People a lot of times will just say notary near me, and I make it a point to post a lot of stuff on my page so that it stays at the top of the searches. So
Ah,
normally, if you're in West Columbia and you say I need a notary near me, Notary to Go, Tatia Toney is going to appear.
nice. So when it comes to people finding you, they always have to have a legit ID, correct?
Yes. I mean, that's the whole job of a notary is that we are verifying the person's identity against the document that they're signing. We don't care about the content of that document,
Right.
but we do care about who's signing it. Um, in South Carolina, it's not mandatory to have a journal, but a journal will help you to keep track of everybody that has signed before you. So I always recommend that. But you're taking that ID and you're checking that that signature matches the one on the paper that they've signed are signing, that this ID is the person that's standing before you. There's nothing we can notarize unless a person is standing before us at all times, and they must have a valid government issued ID. So it could be a ID, a driver's license, a passport, but it's got to come from the government and have a picture.
Okay. Have you ever had someone try to give you an ID that wasn't theirs or some type of fake ID or anything like that?
I haven't really had the fake ID for me, but I have been a witness at a signing where someone tried to pass off a fake ID. Uh, which was what it was is that unfortunately, a couple was getting divorced. They
Mm,
both needed to sign the paperwork. I was there as a witness. Um, the woman had her ID, but she brought along another gentleman and said that this was the person she was divorcing and tried to pass him off. And the notary, thank God, she was somebody that I trained, so I was very happy that she caught it. She was like, wait a minute, this is not the same, like it doesn't match up. You put you put the middle initial D, but on the paperwork it says L. So they tried to say that it was a typo on the paperwork. So she said, well, then we can't do it. And then
hmm.
she started looking closer and she's like, wait a minute, this doesn't match at all. Like there's something wrong. And it turned out that the husband that she was divorcing did not know he was getting
Horse.
a divorce. So she figured, and what it was is he was actually incarcerated, unfortunately.
Oh,
And so he couldn't sign the paperwork because where he was located, they were having difficulties getting some ID so that they could go in. And it was just a whole mess of
oh,
stuff.
wow.
But she figured she wanted to get married and move on. She was going to get divorced.
And by any
Now,
means
with that,
necessary.
not exactly by any means necessary. But that wasn't happening. My notary actually caught it really quick. I wasn't paying attention at first. I was kind of sitting on the side because I knew she had it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I trained you well. I know what you're doing. And then all of a sudden I heard kind of like hesitation, and the lady say, "But I mean," and I said, "Whoa, what is going on?" So, yeah, you see all kinds of things in this business. Believe
Yeah,
me.
I could imagine. So speaking of training notice, tell me about what inspired you to do the classes that are free, which are amazing. You drop so many gems. What inspired you to do those classes that you do?
So when I started, nobody would help.
Mm,
Like I was, I used a lot of social media. I watched a lot of YouTube University. But like I said, South Carolina is different. So you don't
mm-hmm.
find very many notaries on YouTube from South
South
Carolina.
Carolina.
You don't find very many podcasts by notaries, period. And that was the big thing back then, YouTube and podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So as I searched and searched, trying to find people, and then I would go into so many social media groups and I would ask a question like, well, how much should I charge for?
Mm-hmm.
And I would get some of the nastiest answers. People would say, did you read the handbook? Do you follow your state law rules? Well, obviously I read it, and obviously I still had a question. I
Right.
was very confused. When I started, I was just charging what the government write-off amount was for mileage, which I think was maybe 72 cents or something like that, maybe 69 cents, plus $5 per stamp. So I was driving 20, 30 miles doing a notarization, coming back and making like $40 because I didn't know any better. I didn't know to charge for my time or my expertise or the fact that my liability or even that the fact that that's how much I can write off, but that doesn't mean that's how much I have to charge.
Right.
And people would say things, I mean, it just nobody would give me answers. They would like, need to look this up. And I was like, this is ridiculous. There's enough money to be made by everybody doing
Mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I help? And I think I come from a giving heart anyway. I have a nonprofit that I'm working on for ex-felons for things like that. So I'm like, listen, what's wrong with me once a month getting together with my fellow notaries and us sharing business? We network so that way if anybody needs a witness, we've got people.
Mm-hmm.
We learn from each other. Sometimes I may not know it all, or somebody else may not know it all. And somebody else comes along with, well, this is how I do it. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal? Now, I mean, of course, I do mentoring where I charge, and I charge like 25 bucks an hour session.
Okay.
So I do that, but it's all one-on-one stuff. I feel like people sometimes learn better that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a problem charging, but I just feel like giving back is not going to kill me either.
Yeah, no,
Not
I can honestly say I'm very grateful that I met you because I've learned a whole lot. I've met some fantastic women there. Actually, I'm teaming up with one of the women I met at one of the meetings next month. She's gonna have me tag along with her to show me how she do weddings and stuff. So I'm excited about that because that's
nice.
something I'm really interested in. So, when is your next meetup?
So right now it is scheduled for July 26th
Okay.
at the Richland County Library in Sand Hills. I
Same
believe
here.
it's
Okay.
Fashion Avenue, Columbia, South Carolina. We are going to do it from 2 to 5. And everybody's welcome. Whether you're a brand new notary, want to be a notary, thinking about being a notary, seasoned notary, not a notary,
So
join
do
us.
you have a website or email? Like how do people contact you?
So I give out my phone number freely.
Okay.
um, but I have my Google business page and then I do have email. My email is the word notary, Notary, the number two, the word GOLLCSC at gmail.com. I don't have a website, but if you pull up my Google business page, which I said is Notary to Go out of West
Hmm.
Columbia, um, you can usually contact me through that. But people are also welcome to call or text me at any time. I operate 24/7, and my phone number is 839-224-3522 or 913-952-4402. And no, I am not in Kansas, even though that number is.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing the meetups every month and sharing information. You always dropping some good dimes. I started Keeney's Corner some years ago in New York, and I've had a chance to talk to some wonderful people. But since I moved to South Carolina, I haven't had a chance to get back into the groove. So I have so many wonderful people I met here, and you're the first one in South Carolina. I have so many more people that I've met here that I'm going to introduce on Keeney's Corner. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I
You're
appreciate
welcome, and I'll
you.
see you soon.
All right.
All
Take
right,
care,
have a
y'all.
good day.
You too. Bye bye.